there's a couple of guys. Do you know? Have you heard of neologism by any chance?
Oh, yo, Jacob is the homie, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
guy's
my guy.
that's yo. I used to play him so much on NetPlay back in the day, but you know he definitely has some like choice words for Falcon and just the game because I
Yeah,
think he would rage every now and then, but yeah.
he doesn't play too much anymore. I hit him the other day, and he said trying to like get his life together, so he's not going to play that much anymore.
Yeah, he can't really play that much. I know he also has like some controller problems. That's tough for him. But a big one was like, you know, he just has a lot of work to do. I think he can't come to any of the weeklies
Yeah.
of work, and that's
Well,
unfortunate.
Dan Great Babe came by the weekly like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, damn, Dan is so good. I know there's a couple
Yeah,
other
he's
really
right.
good old school Hamilton folks that still play. I know Cylinder. I seen him at a tournament. Wander, Jai. That guy's really sick.
Yeah, Jai.
Oh, you know Jai? Dude, Jai is such a
Yeah,
homie.
these are all the
I
homies
always
from
think
back
he's
in
so
the day.
sick.
These are all the homies from back.
You know, Hamilton got like it's got a pretty tight knit scene compared to a lot of other places, but I haven't actually been to any of their tournaments. A lot of them
It's
do
really
come up.
just a weekly every Sunday from like 3 o'clock to like whenever. You just go and after tournament you can just play like endless friendlies. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so is there at the college campus or?
No, no, it's at this like vape shop downtown. It's called Hamilton High Grounds.
Oh yeah, the High Grounds tournament. Okay, that's
Yeah,
sick. I've seen them. I've seen Shash post it in the Toronto Melee Discord. Yeah, no, it's seems like y'all got a decent scene there, which is nice. You ever come up to any Toronto tournaments?
yeah. I went to the greenhouse maybe like a month ago.
Oh, sick, sick. How was that?
It was cool. Got smoked. It was cool. It's like
Yeah,
kind of like
no,
my first introduction back into the scene.
yeah. Toronto Melee tournaments are omega stacked because like there was like the last local I went to, there was literally like five top 100 players, including myself, and then like it was like I don't know how many top 50 players, like three top 50 players. No, it was four top 50 players in attendance with Moki in attendance. So we had
At the
like,
greenhouse?
hmm?
Is that the greenhouse?
No, that was the local.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
There's
the
a sick
local.
documentary about that. I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, dude, Ashu actually cooked so hard with that one,
Yeah, that
bro.
looks so good. That
Yo,
looks
it
so good.
looks so nice. Remind me of like them Adult Swim bumpers, really inspired, had that nice aesthetic. I love the little black and white cutouts for like the players. It was super, super well done. Really highlighted the community and just like kind of all the things that made the local super sick in the first place.
Yeah, it was dope, man. I couldn't really see myself playing. Well, I'd play maybe a Falco, but it's too hard. I'd play Falco, man. People hate
Oh,
him. But
Falcon's your main?
yeah.
Sick. Falcon's so sick. Have you?
Yeah.
I see you in the cookbook Discord. Have you ended up checking any of that stuff out?
Yeah, like a lot of the Marth matchup stuff,
Okay, true.
and like a little bit of Falco. Peach is kind of there's very few Peaches in my city.
Oh yeah,
I find
medley.
yeah, I find Peach. I actually met him this 2 weeks ago. I find Peach hard to combo a lot of
Yeah, no. Nowadays, Peach has gotten a lot harder to combo. But the meta is like I feel like just in general, like it used to be way easier to combo, but I think the big thing is that nowadays everybody like all the Peaches have just leveled up so hard versus Falcon. Um, yeah, I kind of want to let me share my screen for like
Yeah, yeah.
Firefox. I was like, because the big thing for me versus Peach is like, where is it? None versus Law. Like, None is someone who I don't think has the best game. Like, he's not YGZee tier. Like, he's not YGZee in terms of, like, he's not going to grind out those, like, super optimal flowchart off the grab punishments. Mm-hmm. But the thing that makes None super good at beating Peach is that he's really good at reading Peach players' defensive options out of their hit stun. Because it's, like, it's really hard to true combo Peach. Because she's got, like, air dodge. Like, look, None gets that up air, and he can't really get much off of it. Like, he'll get this jab combo, and he won't get much off of it. Where I think, like, there's other characters he could. But what Nun's the best in the world at is just reading people's defensive options. Like, he knew that Lad's not the type to, like, air dodge immediately or nair out of these. And so he's just reading it over and over and over again. Like, oh my god, wait, that up B was nuts. Oh, shoot, dude. So you got, like, a favorite player? Like, something like,
Favorite player, probably... I want to say Salt, man.
Salt's nasty. Yeah, she's really good.
It's just the speed. The speed is, like, insane. Like, I mean, like, I think YGZee is probably the best Falcon. He's the most consistent, and I think he places higher than usually all the other Falcons. Mm-hmm. But I think because he, as you said, he plays more like slow chartish. I don't want to say boring, but like Salt is more like entertaining to watch, you know?
100%, I get that.
With melee, like, I never, like, being the best is cool, right? But I kind of wanted to adopt a play style where it's like more like for like putting on a show for the people, still winning, but like also like
the more stylish players, yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I like Salt's play.
That's
pretty fired.
They're all really sick. I love YGZee because he's got such a sick play style to like watch personally, because he's like really just pushing the character as far as possible,
which I think as far as you can go.
Yeah. Salt does a lot of really sick and crazy movement things. And, like, her speed is actually super unmatched. I think she's definitely, like, the fastest out of all the Falcons. And, like, probably the most, like, technically precise, like, has the best technical skill. But I think for the longest time, like, I mean, my favorite player is always going to be S2J. S2J is, like, my number one favorite.
My favorite Falcon for a while until I saw Salt, and I was like, yo, like, I don't know, the speed is just different.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, you know, Johnny, you know, he doesn't play much anymore, so it's like Salt is kind of carrying on that torch in a way for Johnny. It's like, yeah, I think so, like, ideally, I guess if the way you want to play is more similar to like S2J and Salt, right? Like, that's the kind of gameplay you're aiming towards, I'd imagine. Yeah, I think that one's actually. I was talking to S2J about his time commitments because he's been working full time, and I was talking to him at Big House. You know, what kind of prep do you do for majors before you go to tournaments? He's like, yeah, you know, I don't play too much, but usually before a tournament, I try to play like an hour a day the week before, and I think that's like, damn, you know, S2J of all players, like, look at his one, like, Triff versus S2J. I know he lost a set, but like S2J, this is full-time like S2J, and he's been working. Let's just look at his most recent set because I know he's been working, and it's like he hasn't been playing much. He's been, you know, working at NVIDIA, full-time job, you know. But he's still, like, moving like this. Like, he's playing crazy good melee. And the fact that he said that he, you know, out of all the top players, you know, he only plays, like, an hour a day before tournaments when he's, like, really grinding. Or that's what he's aiming for. Like, I think that shows that what matters more is just having an efficient practice routine. And as opposed to, like, pure time commitment. You know?
Yeah.
Even though these players already have put in tons and tons of hours, that's not to say they don't work hard. They work. These guys are the hardest workers. In fact, that's what made me the biggest Johnny fan was, like, he would, like, lose to a bunch of these players, like he get whooped by some foxes and falcos, and he would just put his head down and he wouldn't complain too much. He'd be like, yeah, Fox is a lame character, and then he's put his head down, work on the matchups he was struggling with, and then just come back. I think that's the big part that made me like a Johnny fan, was that he was always a hard worker, but he also works really smart. So yeah, I think.
What do you think it worked for you? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you were saying. Sorry, I
I
wasn't
was gonna
going
say,
to make a point.
what do you think the difference maker was for you? What at what point did you were you did you make the jump from average okay player to okay I'm actually pretty good, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like the biggest thing for me was, I always was trying to be the most creative player. Even if, I wasn't always the most creative player, or I was, taking stuff from other players, I just tried to do new things in as many points as possible. Mainly because I was I was a huge combo video fan. I would just watch combo videos all day and be like, okay, wow, that's sick. I want to steal that and I want to do that in game. And I want to implement all these cool ideas that people are doing and just do that for myself. That's why players like JoJo and Chef Rockman are so inspiring to me, because they push the game in crazy ways in doing new things. They're not super repetitive. They're always trying to go for new options in friendlies, in tournament, and they don't care if it costs them a stock in the short term, but because in the long term, adding those new options, it just makes you 10 times more unpredictable, makes the game even crazier. It's so expressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, the big thing that helped me become a much better player was learning to be okay with losing, if that means trying out and learning new things. And also just trying to, play the game as intentionally as possible. That's a big thing. One thing about watching the way Johnny plays is that he's never, he's always choosing something new. He's always reacting to the environment. He's reacting to his opponent directly. It's not oh, I'm looking at this exact play and I got I already have a line of play planned up. It's very freestyle, very dynamic. Because he'll see what you're doing, and he'll also have what has this person done before. He's always mobile. He's always picking crazy different options. He's always doing something to make the opponent interact with him. And that kind of breeds new situations and innovation. At least that's how I feel. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If it's you do you have any particular goals? You're trying to get top 8 at a local, or top PR or something like that?
Probably PR. Just get in the PR.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is there a Hamilton PR, or you mean Toronto PR?
But that's kind of a more broader goal. I mean, if I could just make it smaller, I would probably say just being able to place at my weeklies, whether it's the greenhouse or whether it's
High grounds,
Mississauga monthly, or you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
That kind of broader outside of that would definitely be getting on the Southern Ontario PR, but I'm not really tripping off that.
Okay, yeah. I think it's important to have goals to help you focus your practice, and that's that's what helps me a lot, especially since I don't know, it's the way I think personally is just I'm a comp sci major. I like math. I like philosophy. I like to break things down a lot into smaller algorithms, smaller bite-sized pieces, and having small goals just helps me focus my tasks and my day-to-day. So for the earlier point of the year, I actually made a tweet where I was my goal for the year is to beat a really good Sheik, and I ended up hunkering down on that, just practicing versus Sheik. Basically, I would I just hit up all my homies who play Sheik. I said, hey, if you're looking to play anytime, let's play. Let's do some VOD analysis. I play Holiday, top 100 player Holiday. He's really sick. He's a super homie. He's always down to grind. We grind the Falcon matchup, and I ended up beating Zanya. after like a
Oh
couple
yeah,
weeks. Yeah, no, that was like a huge thing for me because
that's crazy.
she was super good. Like she's a really hard player for me to beat, and she was also a really hard match for me to beat too. And I also beat that same at the local. I beat Moki Sheik as well, and that made me super proud because I was like, damn, I put in a lot of work into this. I made my goal to beat a Sheik, and then I put in the work. Because I put in the work, then I was able to meet my goal, and it made the game a lot more fun for me.
Yeah,
And it was
I feel that.
honestly a really short time period comparatively too. Like I made that tweet in like mid January, and I reached my goal by like early February, which was really
Okay.
nice. So I do think like if you've got again, it's all about what works for you, but if you have a goal in mind and you're able to set like if you're able to like figure out steps to reach that goal, I think it's like you'll surprise yourself more than anything, especially because this game is so volatile.
Definitely. Do you have like a routine? Like I do this whenever I hop on type thing?
Oh,
Like whether it's pivots or you know what I'm saying? It could be anything. I don't know.
big routine thing actually is before I play a friendly session, I always ask myself, what are my goals for the session? Um, Big thing that helped me was asking myself, what do I want to work on in this session? Because I think I realized that the biggest thing that wins people sets in games is decision making.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's not as much tech skill. Like tech skill, of course, is something you have to practice. Like, but that's like 15 minutes to 20 minutes a day. Like you just have a
Yeah,
routine,
yeah,
and I can give you
yeah.
my tech skill routine and some other things that would help a lot. But mainly, the big thing is before any session, I always ask myself, what should I be working on, and what new things do I want to try. So, for example, let me see if I have some sticky notes from the last session I played. Um, I don't. Unfortunate. But for example, like let's say I'm playing versus a fox, and I just got done watching a nun set, and I was like, oh wow, nun uses he runs up and crouches a lot versus foxes to make them do something. So I think in this friendly session versus this top fox player, I think that I don't care if it's gonna like lose me sets or lose me games in the session. I'm just going to run up and crouch a bunch, and that's going to be my goal is to figure out where does crouch work and where it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's something honestly it was funny talking about crouching because I was against my cousin plays Marth and crouching is really good against Marth, but it's like when you like in the initial dash animation of Falcon, it's like I'm finding it's like it takes a little bit of time. Like if I'm dashing from a full sorry, yeah, if I'm running and then I crouch, like it's like an instant crouch. But
Mm-hmm.
if I like dash, like I think it's the foxtrot you call it, like in the beginning animation of his dash, it takes a bit of time to crouch completely.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like the distance at which I could actually run up and crouch. That's kind of
Yeah.
one of the things that not like intentionally working on, but that I just noticed is
Yeah, yeah, and see that kind of observation that helps you get like a really good intuition for the game, and it'll improve your game sense. And honestly, just even the fact that you're thinking about that stuff like puts you above a lot of players who are unconsciously taking these kinds of quirks of the game for granted because to get to your point is you can't crouch when you're doing your dash animation. You can only crouch during run. So that also
yeah,
factors
yeah,
in, like I can't dash immediately and crouch. So what I have to do now, what Nun might do sometimes is he's gonna like wave dash crouch, or like that's what Johnny does. I think Johnny does wave dash crouch, but Nun, in fact, he works his game plan around that. Like the fact that I can't crouch in my dash animation, I'm going to crouch, far away. I'm gonna have to initiate my crouch from farther away. Or, maybe he's realizing, if I'm playing this close, maybe I shouldn't be running at my opponent and crouching. Maybe I should just be holding crouch and then expecting them to come to me. Because of, there's a distance I need to cover. And that will make crouch unfeasible, but I really need to crouch in this situation. For example, like if a Marth, like if Pew Pew short hop there, or like Pew Pew fell down with the forward air here, and Nun was like, here he's trying to run at him and crouch, but if Nun just held down and got hit by the forward air,
Yeah.
he could have gotten like a CC grab off the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he whiff punishes and grabs, but he could have also gotten a CC grab. But it would have been more true if he got a CC grab, because you could have done like spot dodge, you could have done another forward air after he missed it. But yeah, no, I think if it's like one thing, being observant and asking yourself questions in the beginning or middle of a session is very important to improvement, and aligning those things, those questions to your goals. Like, let's say your goal is to like place well at the locals, and that means you're gonna probably run into a lot of Sheiks. I mean, you're probably gonna run into a lot of Peaches in Hamilton, like you were saying. So
Yeah.
maybe what's good. What are you looking for in the Peach matchup? Let's say I want to work on spacing my nairs so that I don't get CC down smashed. So what you're gonna do for the rest of the game is you're not gonna try and space knee. You're not gonna try and like run up grab. You're just gonna try and practice spacing nair in the matchup, even if that means like you're not gonna get crazy combos. You might get owned a bit. You might even get CC down smashed a bunch on the platform. But you know what? You'll learn a lot more by intentionally focusing on nair and how do I get this to work, than like trying to holistically practice everything all at once, because it's it's like isolation training basically. It's like going on the machines at the gym, because like you want to target a specific muscle to help that muscle grow, so that you have a more evened out physique.
Definitely, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I noticed. I mean, after I went to like 2 locals, I noticed it was like less about, like, say for example, I could just grind like tech skill, but it's not gonna directly translate to the game, if you're making the same decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing, is that practicing tech skill, it's you shouldn't need to practice tech. The only reason you should be practicing tech skill is not to like force anything super duper crazy. Though if you want to, you can. It's more so about having the confidence in moving, which is why when I'm tech skill practicing, I'm not practicing like I'm not practicing true combos too much. I'm mainly practicing like wave dashing. I'm practicing dash dancing. I'm practicing shield dropping every day. Like that's the stuff that I'm practicing. Like, and also wave dashing out of shield. Just being confident in moving as fast as possible, or like being confident in like wave dashing to ledge. Like I practice wave dashing every day, so that when I wave dash to ledge, I'm not scared that I'm gonna miss it and fall off the stage. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what matters more for tech skill, honestly, is just consistency and having a strong, confident grasp on your character, so you can make more freeform decisions. Which is why, like, I think Nun probably has a really great use of tech skill, and so does S2J, where everything they do feels very freeform, very dynamic, and they're neutral, because their tech skill is so clean in the sense that they're not struggling to move in any situation. Like, if they have an idea, like, oh, I want to dash here, I'm going to dash here. Like, their mind and their body are connected in that way.
Yeah. What's going through your mind when you're during neutral and stuff? Not necessarily for a certain matchup. Are you like more, okay, I'm gonna be aggressive, or am I gonna see what they're doing and then kind of react to it, or like kind of what's going through your head?
I personally, I'm of the opinion that being aggressive in the game is actually a lot better than people give it credit for, because that means you're dictating the pace in a lot of the situations. I think the biggest thing, honestly, is when I'm in neutral, I'm always looking at the spacing between myself and the opponent. So whenever I'm looking at my current state, like when I'm in lag or anything, when I'm dash dancing, I'm looking how far is the opponent from me and what can they do to me right now that's super scary. That's when I'm like focused in tournament. Like I'm far away from. I'm like, this situation is like, if I were to like take a snapshot here in any moment, I'm thinking, this is a pretty good spacing for me. But Pew Pew Yu, what he's probably gonna do here is he's threatening either dash attack. He could right wave dash F smash. He could run up grab, or he could wave land onto the platform. Those are some of the things that are like decently threatening for me. Like wave land off the platform forward air. He could dash attack, but those are kind of laggy moves, and he's not super duper threatening. And if he was gonna grab, it would if I dashed back just a bit, then he wouldn't be able to grab me. So a lot of it is just I pre the spacing. I look at the spacing, and I try to derive what can they do to me right now, and then after that, I check what's my percentage more than anything. Actually, honestly, it depends on the matchup. Personally, what I'm starting to realize is that versus floaties, I just try to stay far enough away from my opponent where I don't have to make a decision immediately. So in my Jigglypuff sets, I think this is one of my best matchups in the game. I played this set really.
Yeah, I watched your greenhouse grand set.
Oh, swag. Yeah, no, I played. This is some of the best I've played. Mainly because I was just super focused on percents. And I realized, as Falcon, this is the percent. There's just focus on getting stomps and grabs as early as possible, from 0 to 30%. And then I look at Faust's percent now, and I realize, okay, down throw knee is gonna kill here. So now that's what I want to look for. I'm always trying to think of how to achieve my win condition. But yeah, there's some points where I feel like I need to be more considerate of, how do I avoid giving my opponent their win condition. But, that's mainly just me thinking, how do I win? Because I'm of the opinion that if you focus more directly on getting to your win condition than avoiding your opponents, it's you're playing to win as opposed to playing not to lose. If you've heard that distinction before.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to neutral, in most matchups, when the game starts, I just start looking at the opponent's movement options, and I just see, how do I get a stomp, how do I get a grab at 0. And then once I get more information, I'm like, how do I get a nair after 30, or how do I get an up air after 30? And I'll ask myself, okay, out of nair and up air, which one do I want more? So versus foxes, let's say that they like to full hop, I'll think, up air's better at dealing with full hop than nair is, so I'm going to try and get more up airs versus a fox who likes to go onto platforms and full hop a lot. But if a fox is dash dancing a lot more, I'll probably be like, you know what, I'm going to probably space nairs and try to read their movement with a stomp instead, because they're just dash dancing versus me. And if I up air, they'll probably try and whiff punish me or hit me before I even get anything out. So a big thing for me is just have a game plan based on percents, and then check my percents and check the opponent's percents, and try to play as directly and as possible to getting the thing that would get me a kill here. For example, I'm fishing for nair here because I know that nair up air knee kills here, or nair knee. So you can see that I'm going for nair into knee as much as possible. So my game plan is, in neutral, is okay, I want knee, that's going to kill, but the only way I can get that is by nair at this percent.
Yeah.
And now here I'm realizing, okay, he's very high percent, and at back air is probably the best way to kill here. So I'm going to start spacing back airs and rolling around and full hopping so that Puff can't catch me. Although, the point is that rules are meant to be broken, but once you familiarize yourself with the rules, then you can start breaking them.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think, as much as, I think, or at least people might say that I'm, more of a combo video guy or, a creative player, I think I like to have a lot of game plans ready. because it really helps organize my thoughts in neutral so that I'm not just like doing things randomly. And that's something that I've learned from like years of competition, is that having a game plan is so much better than having no game plan.
No game plan. Yeah.
Even a bad game plan is better than no game plan, because a
No game
bad game
plan.
plan because a bad game plan you can tweak that. Oh, this one I almost missed the Falcon play.
That's jokes.
Yeah.
Are you like mad active? Like, did you go to Genesis?
No, I haven't been as active because I've just been trying to look for work, and it's just like
Yeah.
other life obligations. But I'm gonna be trying to go to the local on the 25th, inshallah. And then
That's the monthly?
no, that's the local. That's the weekly. I don't think
Oh,
we have
like
any
the
monthlies.
local.
Yeah, the
Okay,
local.
yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to competing, I've been trying to play as much as I can, but I've been reprioritizing my goals to play like less than I used to, because I've just been, things have shifted since the year end. I got top 100, which was one of my big goals for Smash. So after that, I ended up just like taking like a full day to just write down and think about my goals for the upcoming year, and just for the next little while. And I realized that there's things in my life right now that are more important to me than Smash, even though it's really important to me. So I actually just did a full on ranking in Melee. It ending up dropping from like top 3 things to it's not even top 5. It's like number 7 right now.
Yeah.
Because there's other things that I need to take care of, but I think just having that, knowing where Melee stands in my life, honestly has made me a better competitor, because I don't feel like I'm sacrificing other things for Melee by knowing how much time I prioritized into it. A big thing for me was learning how to balance competition and also real life, because if competition is eating into real life stuff, I think that it just sully the entire experience when it comes to locals. It would make it really unfulfilling, and I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for my fellow competitors, because I think that having a good time is a very important thing in Smash, and I think that's all really just the most important part beyond just achieving things in the game. It's for me, it's like having a balance, or like keep the game is good, and I want to play it as much as possible. So ideally, I'll figure something out for that.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's real. Definitely, you can't let, even though it's like a great game, you can't let it get into the way of, real life obligations and responsibilities, for sure.
Yeah, no. So it's like just balancing that is super important. So I mean, I'd assume that like school, like Melee, is probably like I'd imagine it's not. Is it, how high up on your priority list is it?
I kind of made a resurgence. I wasn't thinking about Melee for a while, but I'd probably say it's well, I got schoolwork, my relationships. I'd probably say it's top 3, really.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick, actually.
Yeah, it's either 3 or 4. I have schoolwork, my relationships, my health, and yeah, I would say it's right up there. I used to play basketball a lot, and I feel like it's taken the place of basketball.
Nice. It's good that you know where you stand on it. Honestly, for yourself, I don't know if you journal much at all, but
I used to, not so much anymore.
Oh, really? Any reason why you stopped journaling?
I don't know, man. It's kind of just not. There's no like specific reason. That kind of just fell off of it.
True.
It was like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, I highly recommend getting back into it, even if it's just on your notes app. Though I personally like the physical, book and pen.
Yeah, pen and paper. I have a physical.
Yeah, I think if you're looking to really step up in Melee, ask yourself, just really take maybe it doesn't have to be a full day. If you can take a full day, that's ideal. But just take some time, to think about, what do I want out of this game? Where does this stand in my life? I think it helped a lot just for enjoyment and seeing where you want to go. And once you have this idea of where do I want to go and where does this game stand in my life, you can start building the pieces for yourself about how am I gonna achieve that goal? Because once you know it, it's not that hard to piece together the goals. Especially for me, like, because I think it's just actually never mind. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no. Once you have a goal, the steps usually like reveal themselves slowly. Though, if you have any questions regarding Melee and improvement, just feel free to ask me anytime, or if you want to play, just straight up. I
appreciate that, bro.
I just think VOD analysis and like a discussion would be more productive for your time.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Than just kind of just playing games for sure.
Yeah.
I noticed like, just in the few games that we played, it's like you were definitely way quicker to act than I was. Like, there would maybe be like a couple second or millisecond delay between when I'm going to do something versus you were like already like on me.
Yeah.
That is kind of important. You were saying something about that earlier, about like with none and how
yeah, that's the big thing, is that they're so ready to act. In fact, they're not actually reacting to the fact that they've hit something. They're reacting to the fact that they're about to hit something. That's how they hit confirm. So when I go for like a nair, I'm just going to assume that I either, like, if I see I'm within range, I have like a certain confidence level in myself that the nair is gonna hit. So I'm like, if I'm 90% confident that my nair is gonna hit, I will just assume that it hits, and I will immediately dash forward as if it did hit. And that's how a lot of players get their their speed up, is just that kind of read react. Like they read react. So they read that they're gonna hit, and then they dash it as a read, and then they react to whether they hit to the specifics of how it hit. Like, did they DI in? Did they DI out? And then they'll react with a different option, like grab, knee, up air, dash back, wave dash down, etc. And that's what S2J does a lot. Is he's really good at hit confirm. There's an example of this one game of Moki at like main stage, or this one is it this one? Yeah, this one. Oh my goodness, this was such a six. Like Johnny's he just finds some insane openings. So Johnny will he'll get this nair, and he'll react to the fact that he threw out the nair, and he's like, the moment he sees that he got this nair, he's like, okay, I hit this, I'm going to immediately dash, no thinking. And he immediately wave dashed. And what he did, he immediately dashed after this nair, but he reacted to the fact that, I'm probably not going to be able to, get a knee here, so I'm going to do a wave dash to tech chase. And he gets the tech chase off of it. And then he continues to RTC, and then he goes off stage to stomp. And that's how he goes for like those hit confirms. And that kind of speed, that was crucial, because if he didn't get that that tech chase, maybe Moki gets out of the tech chase, or like if Johnny tries to knee, he messes up the knee, Moki gets out, and he could kill him with like a straight back air. And that basically won him the whole game, just like that kind of consistent reaction. And that's where like Texo comes in, is I guess if you want to tie this back to your question about Texo, like what to practice. Or what I like to do when I practice is I like to go and I like to practice hitting aerials in a really weird way, or trying to hit my aerials in a weird way, and then dashing or acting immediately out of it. Like, just no thinking, just it's like an immediate response. Just any default option is better than just sitting there, I think, a lot of the time. Like, even if your default option after hitting an aerial is to crouch or shield, that's way better than nothing. Mango's default option after throwing out an aerial that, doesn't look too safe is to shield. And after that, Mango tries to, scout out a roll. Oh my god. That was different. Yeah, this is the crazy nair that he hits that I'm like, oh my god, how did you know to do that? How does he win this game? Oh god. Oh, come on. The thing popped up. What is this thumbnail, bro? Alright, let's put on theater mode. Oh, so he gets this nair and he immediately dashes, but he realizes that Moki DI super far in. And he does this, so his read was the dash. So he gets this nair. Let's scroll back. Yeah, he gets this nair. Oh, god damn it. So he gets this, nair right here. And once he gets the nair, he immediately dashes. He immediately dashes and jumps to, prep for nair to knee. Or nair to up air. But he sees that Moki DI'd in, and he reacts with a double jump instant nair to cover his next DI. And then he lands it in the sickest knee. And he wins the whole set.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was so sick. And he basically just had that backup option ready. All this was pretty much guaranteed. Whereas, if he just immediately up aired or kneed, it probably would have, that knee would have either reversed or it would have whiffed completely and he would have died.
Yeah.
And if he up aired, it would have reversed and, he wouldn't have gotten the kill. Or maybe the up air wouldn't even have killed even if he did get the up air in the right direction. So this was a pure confirm. This is world class right here. And that's
sure, bro.
That's why I freaking love watching S2J play and None play, is that they got this such great, they have crazy amazing reads, but they also just have really good reactions and coverage. Like YGZee has great read reacts as well. I actually gotta show you one of my favorite Wizrobe stocks in recent time. It's Wizrobe versus Uppy. And even those Uppies, he's the Canadian hero recently.
Oh, at Lounders?
Yeah. This is just such a beautiful combo. And people think YGZee's a crazy, only reaction monster, but he's got crazy reads too. Look at this one. Ooh, that reaction. So Wizrobe actually. Wizrobe was another great example of abusing read reacts. Is that he'll throw out this nair and immediately he sees the fact that he's not likely to hit, immediately throws out a jab, and that causes Blake to miss his option because he was nairing at YGZee, and he ends up getting jab grabbed. Actually, I can probably slow down this playback speed. He ends up getting grabbed, and then he gets this tech chase. Oof. And here's another big thing. He knows that he can't stomp knee at this percent, because stomp knee I don't think is true guaranteed on Fox until 40 to 50%, and that's if you hit a low stomp. But stomp grab is real right now. Big thing, he can recognize Fox is about to hit the ground, so Blake is probably hitting his tech input right now to make sure that he doesn't get stomp kneed, right? What YGZee does, he grabs and immediately down throws. So Blake is still tech locked out. He's currently tech locked out, and he's going to be forced to miss tech. And so he got a forced miss tech, and then he got kneed. Wizrobe basically gave himself a crazy combo extension by doing this tech lockout grab. Oh my! And then he gets the stomp knee, which is just powerful enough to send Zuppy off stage at a distance where he can react to his up B with double jump up air.
Yeah.
And he makes a crazy reverse 3-stock comeback. And that's a beautiful read react. Because that was a reaction on the grab, but it was also a read on, you know, his immediate option. Like, Wizrobe read the fact that he whiffed a nair and immediately, you know, just, he like...
The jab?
He immediately jabbed, yeah. And then he got a grab, and then he read a freaking stomp. And then he ended up reacting to the fact that he wasn't high enough percent, and then read that Blake was going to miss the tech. But even though it was a highly confident read, it was a very confident read that he was going to miss the tech because of the tech lockout. And he was able to, you know, put himself in a great position to react. I think if you have any like thoughts about why do certain things in Melee work a certain way, there's Melee Mechanics by Cardano. It's a great series of videos, but like he's got really nice videos, and this is gonna like improve your Melee understanding by like tenfold. I think if you watch this video series, you'll have like a better understanding about Melee's mechanics than like 99% of players, and that includes top players. Because this will like help you get the groundwork for understanding, you know, why certain things in Melee work the way they do, like ASDI, invincibility, you know, tech animations even, and these like little idiosyncrasies that, you know, you can start thinking about, and then you can start, you know, basing your game plan around that. You know, like the fact that you can't crouch during your dash animation. That's a huge, you know, thing in game that changes the way people play. So yeah, I'll link this real quick. This is a great video series. Also, it's just really cool to watch and really well done. Like here, he's giving you the formulas for the knockback.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu.
Make sure that okay. So yeah, he's got like he'll explain like the basics of knockback and hit lag and whatnot. But this one's really important, is understanding the mechanics of DI and SDI, and just why certain things work the way they do. And it'll help you learn, like it'll help you be more and more creative, I think, because once you realize, you know, certain like the more you know about the mechanics, the more you can try and fiddle with them, is what I'm trying to say. And that way, you know, you'll also have like more cool things to try in friendlies. If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes a ton of sense, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, it's already almost 6.
Yeah, it's already 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but like I said, feel free to hit me up anytime for friendlies. I'm down to play pretty often. And I'll check out that I'll check out that best of 3 you sent to me, and I'll try to do some VOD review on it. You know, it's
no worries, bro. Take your time. Oh, you're a busy guy. Drop your e-transfer, bro.
Okay, bet. Just again, let me know if you. Okay, I also need to. I should let you know, but I am recording the VOD for this, just, you know, in case you want the lesson uploaded.
Oh yeah, okay, no worries.
All right, sick. All right then. Okay.
All right, bro. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate just talking about the game more than anything. And if you have any questions about the game, just ask me, because as you can tell, I love yapping about the game.
Hey, man, I could do it too. All right,
All right,
appreciate it, man.
All right, no,
Go in,
take it easy, homie. All right. I'll drop my transfer. Take it easy.
Alright,
Peace.